everything that's left there.
There's Marty.
Jeez.
Left there is a house.
Here, take me. Hello.
I'm not taking fun pictures today.
Grandpa, put it down here. I want to say something.
No, I'm not playing. You're not playing today.
Look at this. Look at what happened.
Yeah.
Remember our forest was filled? Now it's all unfilled now.
This is up to Marty Moore's. That's brand new 95 Dodge. Jones car. That's where that one went down. That was full of ants. Center was gone. They were going to take it down, but didn't take it down soon enough. That's a big oak over there. That's over the wood pile. Took that one right by the roots. This is their pool that they just moved over there this summer. Took that right out. That's where it lived right over Jones' car. 1990, 95 Dodge. It's a big tree to come down on that. And one tucked up by the roots. Yeah, it's up there about, I want to say that tree was up there about pretty close to 100 feet high. That was a big tree. Good thing he took that one limb off there last summer. This is what it looked like when we got out of the car. And around here. He took that one down. A lot of damage down there. A lot of damage up here. They lift that pole right off the ground. Big tree over there. That's about 100. Big oak. Down. It's a good thing he took some trees down there past year, great big pines. Good thing they did. Oh, it hit the house. You wouldn't be. You wouldn't have been sleeping in it tonight. Listen here. There's a big. Oh, you can see the one that they took down. They took a big limb off of that last summer. It's a good thing they did. That's right over the top of the wood pile. Oh, it took the. Right off the top of the trees. Clean the trees right off. Boy, if that don't look like a tornado, I'd like to know what would.
That was amazing. I wish I had a movie camera. You know, Marty, look at what kind of job. I know, boy, what a job.
I said, where you gonna put it now, Mark? Put it over there in that freaking hole over there.
Daddy! Look at how much trouble you give us for this aluminum.
Aluminum, I don't know, about 25 cents a pound. Maybe 60 cents a pound.
You know your corn thing? Not standing. It's cleaned
You
up.
know where that Ember Farms or Ember Springs over there?
Now,
All
listen,
that.
Marty, you see how we do half a job.
That's Marty.
Put that away.
More right
What the hell's
there.
that? Look at that. Blew that right over there.
Right now.
Now it's all busted.
The mower home. Marty's.
Go around the back.
See the damage it's done.
God, the tree fell on the car.
This is a picture of a big tree right from the living room.
What?
Marty Moore's. That's how close it came to taking the deck out, taking this end of the house out. That's that tree is about, it's about 100 feet high. And you can see how high that tree was. Right out to the end of the woods. And that's how close it came. All right, that's how close it came to taking the porch out. I was going back there in the woods, cutting the trees down. This is all along the deck of Marty's. There's that trees out there that was stripped. He had laying there on horses and didn't even touch them. See that? Didn't even move them. They were just laying there on the horses. Never touched them. Be over here 50 feet away and there's a tree. Here's a picture from inside the kitchen. Marty Moore's house. That tree that came down. That's how close it come to the house. It was, if it was 3 or 4 feet longer, it'd have been right in the house. You can see how it is all over the car out there.
It looks better with all these trees coming.
That's in the kitchen, just above the sink. The window's above the sink there. That was a big oak tree.
They said they're talking about me rolling downtown. I guess I did.
All the trees are out of there.
I didn't know anything.
Bay window here, that big 100-foot oak. Took it out right by the roots, as you can see.
Dear Molly, it's got to be.
You can see how lucky Marty was and how close it came to the house. Now that's getting pretty close to disaster. This here gives you an idea of what it did to the woods in back of the house. Look at that big tree there. Them trees there stripped them right down. There's another one. Look at them pines there. Stripped them right down. That's the way that whole woods is all back of the house. Is it 22nd? 21st. Anyway, it's Saturday. That storm went through. You can see over here how it took the neighbors. Took the neighbor's fence right down. But that's what Marty's front yard looked like. That's about it.
Saturday morning,
October the 21st. The damage you're about to see took place in approximately 2 minutes.
How much damage you think you got on your house?
All these trees, what you're looking at here now, well, they're not in the center road before the highway department came in and with a front end loader and chainsaws and removed them from the center of the road. To my knowledge, nobody was hurt. Telephone pole was blown out. Right here in this one little area right here, you had 4 telephone poles. They got broken in 2 and destroyed. This is the remainder of what was on top of that telephone pole that I just showed you. These people have been out of electricity since yesterday around 12 o'clock, noon. I don't expect they'll have electric till around probably at least 8 or 9 o'clock this evening. This is the remainder of one telephone pole right directly across from Ambler Springs, if anybody's familiar with it. This is the house up on Martins Road in Huguenot. The roots on this tree here will measure around 8 by 8 foot in diameter. So you can imagine the force of that wind.
See how Evelyn's doing. I brought my generator up last night, cooled the refrigerator down and stuff.
This is the William residence up in Sparrow, up in Huguenot on Martins Road.
picture was taken after the men come in and saw the tree limbs off the top of the house. This is Oak Ridge Park up in Cutterbackville. I hope the residents might understand why the electric was off for a few hours. This was the tail end of the storm. Normally when you have a windstorm like this, the pine trees are normally the trees that get blown down. But in this case, we had maple trees, oak trees. It didn't make much difference what type of tree it was. The wind had such a force behind it. The first call I'd gotten Saturday morning was around 9:30 a.m. and that was a tree that had blown over on Burn Road in Sparrow Bush. That's when it had blown over in the back, and it's hung up here on a couple of pine trees. The top of this tree had blown over, smashed the electric wires and phone wires. And that's the reason the people up in that area was out of electricity for several hours. You probably hear the chainsaws in the background. Some of the property owners trying to clean up some of the messes. This is my residence. Just a reminder of what used to be an oak tree. As you can see, the roots are still in the ground. But the wind just spun this tree around and twisted and screwed it right off from the roots. If you notice the bottom of this tree, it looks like it had been run through a pencil sharpener on the roof of my house. Thank goodness the neighbors all chipped in and gave me a hand. I can't say enough about the neighbors here in Forest Lane here in Huguenot. They came out in the pouring rain, they pitched in, helped each other out just like they were a bunch of soldiers. That's my dog coop, and I blew the dog coop right from under my dog. Scared him half to death. As you can see, the tree limbs are blown all over the country here. This is a weeping willow. One of the neighbors had planted here a few years ago. Amended his fence. Also forest land, another one of my neighbors. He's been out here all day with a chainsaw, so it's cleaned up pretty much. It's mad the size of that tree just by looking at the roots there. Here's his car. A piece of limb hit the car and smashed the roof of the car all on. That's his swimming pool he just had installed this year. You can imagine the force of that wind. My neighbor's fence got all blown down. They're busy trying to put it back up.
Well, I went over and looked at that shit over there and Mark.
We did the one redo of
Uh-huh.
This is roughly a 1,000-foot strip. It appears as though a bulldozer just came through and ran over top of him. Hey, John, notice there's several trees that are hanging up into other trees, which would cause a potential hazard to children out here playing.